Hello everyone, my name is Fayaz Khan Sahil and today we're gonna learn about Cell Unit 1.2. Our main objective would be understanding why some cell become specialized and understanding tissue, organ system and organism. And also we'll learn about the mathematics of magnification. Let's proceed. So, what is cell specialization and structure function relationship? Let's look at the definition, okay? What is cell specialization? Cell specialization means that cell develops specific structure to perform a specific function efficiently. Those who are just listening to it, you're like, what the hell just he just said? Let me explain it very easily. Suppose let's take red blood cell, okay? So suppose this is a red blood cell. Your sir is very bad at drawing. I study microbiology, and you're gonna ask how you study microbiology when you are so bad at drawing. I survive. And I'm also teaching students. I'm also working as an assistant teacher. So my job is to help you guys. So let's look at this thing, RBC, okay? So what does we know about RBC, right? The red blood cell carry oxygen. Every one of us know that thing, right? Pretty well. So you can see it is biconcave in shape, and also it doesn't have a nucleus. That is interesting. Now your question should be, why red blood cell doesn't have a nucleus? Aren't all the cells supposed to have a nucleus? That is right. When I read about red blood cell, the question really fascinated me. Like, why the hell it wouldn't have a nucleus? I get to know it's a very easy concept. For example, suppose this is a red blood cell. If it has a nucleus, you can see it will take some space, right? If the cell remove the nucleus, the cell can carry more number of oxygen. So you can see one type of specialization over here, where the cell loses its nucleus so that it would carry more oxygen. So this is a simple example of specialization. So what does this mean? Cell develop. So cell aren't born like that, okay? So cell develop to become that specialized cell, specialized structure to perform the specific function efficiently. So cell develop this specialized structure. For example, root hair cell. If you see the structure of root hair cell, you can see the long narrow tube. So cells specialize a structure that allow it to carry out a function very efficiently. Okay. Now let's look at the question: why do cells specialize? Multicellular organisms need different type of cell to perform different role. For example, transport, protection, reproduction. So in a multicellular organism, what is single cellular organism? I have taught you guys in the last lecture. You guys should answer some questions. What is single cellular organism? Tick tick 1, 2, 3. It's bacteria and viruses. I wish I could take live classes. It would be really good to get. I can just know you guys a little bit better. In the screen, I don't even know. Just write it down in the comment section where you guys are seeing the video from. And I'm really new to the YouTube thing, and I'm a bit nervous, as you can see in my facial expressions. I'm a bit awkward too. So, but I decided to carry it out. So, be with me. So, let's see. So, as multicellular organism, what are your favorite animals? For example, suppose this is a human. Don't laugh at me. I'm bad at drawing. Suppose this is a human. This is a human. Oh my god, why its right bicep is so long? Large. Okay, look, this is a human. or a version of a human that is drawn by me. So as you can see, the cells, the organism is very large, right? So every part has to be specialized and it has one specific function. For example, cell, a multicellular organism need different type of cell to perform different role. So these large cell require transportation, protection, and also needed for reproduction, right? For example, if you look at a bacterial cell, let's draw a bacterial cell. It is a unicellular, as I have said this before. Let's draw the DNA in this red color and flagellum. Okay, look at this. In unicellular organism, the transportation, they transport at a very short distance, right? And they sometimes reproduce through philia, or some cell divide asexually, right? So you can see it doesn't need specialized organ to transport waste product, right? Now imagine this large human cell. It will require specialized structure so that it can carry out this function. We'll learn a lot about this structure right now. For example, let's start with let's just erase this thing and just start. Okay, let's look at the red blood cell. As I have said it before, it is biconcave in shape and it has no nucleus. So what is the function of this biconcave and having a no nucleus? It's simply to increase the surface area to carry out more oxygen, right? Root hair cell, it has long extension. So what is the function of it? It increases the surface area for water and mineral absorption. Nerve cell, you have seen nerve cell, right? It has long axon and branch endings. So what does the function of nerve cell? The main function is simply to transmit electric signal quickly across the long distance, right? Across the body, if you can say. Ciliated cell, it has tiny hair-like structure known as cilia. Move mucus and tapped particle out of respiratory tract. For example, if you see a ciliated cell, it is nothing but you can see the hair like substance. Okay, this is a hair. Okay, this is a cell with a hair. So what is the function? It moves mucus. Mucus is nothing but a sticky fluid. Mucus is nothing, is a sticky fluid. So why does we need sticky fluid like mucus? So the function of mucus is to tap dust as well as bacteria and foreign particles, so that it doesn't get inside to the body, right? So that is the main function of it, as you can see, and transport particles out of the respiratory tract. This is quite interesting. Like suppose I don't know what should I call you. Suppose let's call you Sam. Sam have a lungs. As you know, your sir is very bad at drawing. Don't judge me. I know you guys are really judging me. It's okay. You should not judge me. Look. So what does this mucus do is that they carry out this, like any dust or foreign particle, and to your mouth so that you can cough out, right? The cough you take is the dust from the lungs and also from the respiratory tract, right? To the respiratory tract you just cough it out of the mouth. And I found it very interesting, like the mucus here actually moves so that it so the ciliated cell here actually move so that it actually push mucus towards your tract, and you just cough it out, right? Any dust particles. Now let's look at sperm cells. It has tail, as you all know. This is a sperm cells. It has tail. This is a tail, and a lot of mitochondria. Why does it need a lot of mitochondria? Tick tick, 1, 2, 3. It need mitochondria because these cells require a lot of energy that is used in both in movement as well as when the eggs are being fertilized. Okay. So what is the function of this specialized structure known as tail? So the function of tail is for movement, right? It has to move through the female body, right? And mitochondria provide the energy. Now let's look at this thing. The thing I have explained you guys. I have put in some drawings over here. This is a red blood cell. This is a red blood cell. As you can see, this is biconcave in shape. You can see that this biconcave structure. Isn't it beautiful? It is actually beautiful. Um, oh, that's a good question. Who actually invented red blood cell? I actually don't know. If you guys know the answer, please write that down in the comment section. I'll also search it. I'll also try to give that in the comment section so you guys can check it out. This is a root hair cell. You can see the specialized structure over here of the root hair cell, this long extension. So what is the function of this long extension? The function is very, very easy. Let's zoom it out. Let's take a glue for our water, right? For example, this is water molecule, right? So having a large surface area means water molecules can move into it. So the only function of root hair cell is that it increases the surface area so that more water and minerals can be absorbed. So what is tissue? I think all of you guys know what is tissue. A tissue is a group of similar cells that work together to perform a specific function. Let me draw you guys a tissue, okay? Bear with me. I know I'm really bad at drawing, but let's go through it, okay? Suppose this is a muscle cells. This is a muscle cells. This is a muscle cell. This is a muscle cell. Nucleus, 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 nucleus. So, nucleus. So, this is the muscle cell, muscle tissue, okay? So, group of cells, group of similar cells that work together to perform a specific function. So, you can see this group of muscle cells work together for a specific function. What is the function of these muscle cells? The main function of muscle cells to do contraction and relaxation, to do contraction and relaxation. This is the main function of this muscle cell, which is contraction and relaxation. Let's look at the characteristics of tissue. It is made up of similar cell. Of course, tissue should be made up of similar cell. Cells in a tissue are organized and often work closely together. As you can see, these are the organized structure, right? So they work together. For example, moving your arms up, down, right? Contraction and relaxation, right? They perform a particular function more efficiently than a single cell. One question, you guys should take notes. These are very detailed note. I think it will help you in examination. Okay, let's see type of tissue in a living organism. Tissue. Okay, we have animal tissue, plant tissue. So what is the difference between tissue and organ, right? The question should be. Tissue is made up of similar cells, right? We have given examples of muscle cells. For example, organ is made up of different tissue. For example, let's take a organ. Let's take heart. Okay, heart is made up of different type of tissues, which work together which work together efficiently to function as an organ, right? So tissue perform one function, but a organ can perform multiple function. For example, liver is an organ, right? Liver is an organ, right? Now tell me, what is the function of liver? You guys should know about this thing. The function of liver is to store glucose in a form of glycogen, as well as it function as a storage too. It function as a storage, and it has one important function in digestive system. What is it? You guys can guess. It releases bile that break down fat. Isn't it interesting? Example of tissue, muscle tissue. Example of an organ, heart, right? For example, heart is made up of muscle cell, nerve cell, blood tissue. So you can see these are all different tissues, right? They all have different function. What is the function of muscle cell? Contraction, relaxation. Function of nerve cell, to carry out the electric impulse. Blood tissue, to carry oxygen, right? So you can see all of them have a different function. Now let's look at a simple math that will really come in your O-level examination. What does microscope do? It actually magnify an image. We have learned details about microscope in our video, in our previous video 1.1. Please watch it. It will really help you. So for example, this is the actual size of a cell. Okay, hypothetically, cell are in that large. Okay, don't judge me. Suppose you magnify this thing. Now you magnify it to this thing. For example, this is 100x magnification. So you can see the 100x magnification over here. So what is magnification? The simple formula of magnification is that image size by actual size. Image size by actual size. And you need to remember one thing: every unit should be equal. For example, the image is in millimeter, the object, the actual size is in micrometer. You cannot just write the formula down. For example, image is 10 millimeter, object the actual size is 10 micrometer. You just cannot write 100 by 10. You need to convert the micrometer to millimeter first. Okay, you need to both of them should have equal unit. For example, all units should be should be the same. For example, millimeter, micrometer, nanometer. So how would you measure this thing out? Using a simple ruler, right? Using a ruler to measure the image in the diagram. Now let's do a math. Over here they said a drawing of a plant cell is 40 nanometer in size. So so image size is 40 millimeter, and the actual size of the cell actual equals to 0.02 millimeter. Okay, now calculate magnification. So what should be the magnification, right? So we have learned about the magnification is equals to image size by actual size. So what is the image size? Image size is 40 millimeter and actual size is 0.02 millimeter. Let's solve the math. If you remove the decimal, it should be 100. Now if you cut this thing up, it should be 50. Now 50 into 40, just calculate it. Let's do the calculation. I mean, I'm not using a calculator, so bear with me. 0. So the magnification is 2000x. Did you guys got it? So it's very simple. Image size by actual size is what the magnification is about. Now let's do what is an organ, right? What is an organ? An organ is a group of different tissue working together to carry out one or more function. For example, we have just recently learned about it, right? What is an organ, right? So an organ is group of different tissue. For example, take stomach. In stomach, muscle tissue work, epithelium tissue is there, glandular tissue is there, right? So what is the function of all of this tissue combined? Simply to digest food using enzyme and acid, right? Let's take leaf. In leaf, we have palisade mesophyseal, spongy mesophyseal, xylem, phloem. All of their function is for photosynthesis and gas exchange, right? So what is an organ system? An organ system is a group of organs that work together to perform major body function. So in organ, group of tissue work together to carry out a function, and in organ system, group of organ work together to carry out a major body function. Let's look at this thing. Let's look at it. Let's look at the digestive system. Digestive system, as you can see, consists of mouth, esophagus, stomach, small and large intestine and liver, right? And the main function of this thing, it has a very major function in the body, which is breakdown of food and absorb nutrients, right? Now let's look at respiratory system. We have nose, trachea, lungs, bronchi, diaphragm, right? Responsible for gas exchange. Circulatory system, we have heart, arteries, vein, capillaries, blood. Nervous system, we have brain, spinal cord, nerve. What is the function of nervous system? The simple function is to control body function and responses, right? Now let's see a diagram of a organ system. Okay, what is this organ system? If you can guess it right, you will get a treat. Okay, just kidding. I don't know how to give you guys treat. I live in Bangladesh, so I don't know where you guys are watching from. I hope you guys are doing really well. My plan is to prepare you guys for the examination. Bear with me. So this is an organ system of a digestive system. This is a digestive system, right? So suppose you take a food particle, it go from the mouth to esophagus, right? The mouth is a separate organ. Then the food passes to the stomach, right? Stomach is a different organ. Liver releases bile. Liver releases bile, right? It releases bile. Pancreas releases enzymes. Small intestine also releases enzymes to break down the food particle. As you can see, the large intestine where most of the water are stored. Water are stored. So the main function is that thing, food particle passes through different organs and it is getting broken down so that we can get the required nutrients from the food. So what did we learn today? We learned about tissue. We learned about cell, why cells specialize. Cells specialize to carry out a specific function. Then we have learned about tissue. What is tissue? Tissue is a group of similar cells that work together a specific function. We have given an example of a muscle cell. The function is to contraction, relaxation, right? Then we learn about organ. Then we have learned about organ. What is an organ? An organ is where different tissue work together to carry out one or more function. So you can see an organ system such as leaf. It is made up of palisade mesophyll cell, spongy mesophyll cell, epithelial cells, xylem, phloem. Their function is to photosynthesis and gas exchange. Then we learn about organ system. What is an organ system? An organ system is a group of organ work together for a specific function, right? We have seen a diagram of a digestive system. So today after this we have learned about cells. In the next class we'll solve some O-level question from biology. Bear with me. Tata, see you next time.